Hello everybody, this is Michael Stephen Vargas from WeGoChess.com, and there's this so-called wave of Netflix chess lovers that are just becoming much more popular now. And this is of course due to the Queen's Gambit effect, right? A lot of people have watched the film, Netflix film, and it was so popular that it hooked some people to chess. And its main character, Beth Harmon, as we can see, is a female. But I've been wondering why in real life, scene of the chess history, there wasn't any female at all who was able to become a world chess champion. So I've been wondering about this, and I did some research, which I'm going to answer here, which is the topic for today. Why are there no female chess champions? Of course, all of the things that I'm just going to say is something that I've thought of, something that I heard a lot of people were saying, and we'll just try to extrapolate. Maybe you know something, you have an opinion that you want to share, you can feel free to comment below if you have that, just for everyone to see. So, the first reason why I think there hasn't been any female world chess champion is because there's just more men who play chess. When we envision chess, just imagine the sport or activity competition in chess. Which type of gender are you much more likely to think of? Is it male or female? Of course, it will naturally be male because the competitive scene in chess is just much more male dominated. It's not to say that there aren't any female players who actually participates in the competitive scenes. There are, but it is not as much as males who population wise plays the game more. I am not sure about the specifics. I don't know if there's a study, an actual formal study conducted about this, but I am pretty sure that at least 90% of people who play chess are males. And so statistically, if you lay out all the possibilities, when one gender represents the 90% of the population, of course, there's just like 90% chance that that particular gender will be the world champion, right? Again, there's no formal study to back this up, and in my chess tournament in my school, all of my teammates were girls. But if we lay out, you could view actually about that in my About Me page at my website, wegochess.com. But if we lay out like all the genders that plays in that tournament, most of them are males. I am a male, so there's just, if you look at the broader picture, there's just much more guys who are into chess than girls. In majority of cases, guys are the one who comes to the game all on their own, where females are usually just introduced by their friend who is also a guy, or some through specific means. Guys are just much more attracted to the game. There have only been few female world chess champions just because it's much more likely for it to be a man, population wise. Next reason why there are not a lot of female, or there isn't any female world chess champion in the past, is because few women actually tries to play professionally. There are girls who try to pursue chess professionally, but there's not a lot of them. So we are taking a pie of females who actually are interested in chess, a small pie, and we make it even smaller, which means really slim chance of having a female world chess champion. Because think about it, since female is the minority of the population in the first place, this is much more likely to demotivate future female pursuer of chess, because there's not a lot of females in the first place. It leaves an impression that this goal is very hard to achieve. A lot of female do engage in chess, for example, at the early days of their life, if someone introduced chess into their life. But usually throughout adulthood, they would sacrifice it for to fulfill their responsibilities, which is of course great, but for this topic specifically is not great, because then statistically there's not only that there are fewer population of females who play chess, but also there's few actual professionals who have you will have a chance in becoming a world chess champion. If you lay if you think about this, then it's just very likely that a champion will be a man. The reason for this is just women are very smart. Becoming a chess player is a really questionable type of pursuit. There's not a lot of monetary value involved, and it's questionable whether you will reach the top 100 or even top 10 player in the world, where money will come setting in. So girls are much more likely to be tuned in this and quit early to pursue much more fruitful things for them. And so when you take this into account, it really makes sense why not a lot of female even participate in the professional play, and there's no female who made it to that championship stage. There is a female who made it to the championship stage, I correct myself, but there's no one who actually become a champion. Closest female who have come close to becoming a world champion and to have reached the championship stage, which the candidates is Judith Polgar. You might have heard about her, but she's a really strong player. She was a fruit of a really interesting study by her father, Laszlo Polgar, and you could search about him, but she's a she has a really great case study in the field of psychology. The question is whether talent is nature or nurture, right? That question. Getting back to this topic, she has actually managed to made it to the candidates, which is the tournament to decide who will challenge the current world chess champion. Unfortunately, she has lost, but throughout her time, she has defeated a lot of world champions, current world champions, and former world chess champions, which really gives you an idea that girls could actually is actually capable of competing with males. Now I'm going to go back to the reasons why this might be the case. First off, this is not the first, but back to the reasons. If you don't know already, female and male in chess is actually separated by gender. So females are going to compete on all girls tournament, and usually males are going to compete on all males tournament. The reasoning to this is pretty friendly, because since there's not a lot of female who participate in chess in the first place, by having them to compete in one another, they will be competing among their level. They're not going to be introduced into harsh environment competed by males. This does not mean that they couldn't choose to participate in those competitions where males are present, just as with Judith Polgar. She has chose to actually leave the female-only scene in order to reach the top level. They can do that, but there's this separation, even though with good intentions, is actually, I think, a part of the reason why we haven't seen a female world chess champion yet. First off, this separation lacks competition. So competition is one of the best drivers for someone to improve their game and actually take their skills to the next level. With female-only tournaments, females who actually have talent are much more likely to be competing against just weaker female players, and was not able to really realize their full potential. Even Judith Polgar herself said that playing in female-only tournaments might not be a good idea, since there's not just much competition to actually push you to that next level. She herself has to go beyond the tradition and compete against the males. This step might actually also be a factor why there's not a lot of female world chess champions, because limited female chess engagement scares females. Just the fact that you are going to jump from all female tournaments to a male dominant tournament, that jump may actually scare some females who may actually have the talent. because they are just going to be just to stand out. They are going to be different, and people are afraid to be different. So this further limits the chance of a girl being a champion. Also, aside from Judith Polgar, females in general, in chess specific, do not have a lot of role models. So there are no female chess champion in the past. So there's not a role model to actually look up to pursue, to preserve the legacy, unlike with males, right? If we think about the famous champions that we should all look up to, if you are interested in chess, we can think about Garry Kasparov, Capablanca, Fischer, but you don't think about Polgar, right? Polgar is the only role model exists for females, and she has achieved a lot, but she falls short on the world championship title. And so this limitation in role models may have actually played a major role in further limiting the chance of a future world chess champion. Now, there's this notion that biologically, a lot of players say that biologically, men are just better than women in chess. This is something that I do not agree on. First of all, there's just much more men who plays chess. If let's say the population is around 50-50, if there's actually a lot of girls who pursue chess professionally, then I think the statistic is going to be different. There's going to be some one or two female chess champions, even if, let's say, men are actually slightly better, but there should be still a woman chess champion. Guys are just much more likely to engage in chess in early days of their life, much more than females. Therefore, they are likely to reach further than any females would in today's climate. Plus, the female scene is not as competitive as the male-dominated chess tournaments. So, there are equal opportunities in today's climate, but no equal opportunities for improvement. Girls can't have the same opportunity to improve as guys would because of the nature of the competition. Judith is basically all the exception to the limitations that I've talked about, because his father forced her at a young age to just be interested in chess, and then later she actually studied chess early just like all other guys would, and she has jumped from the female only scene to the male dominated scene and actually be able to keep up with the competition. So I think Judith Polgar's case just proves that it is at least possible to for a female to keep up with the males as long as they have the same opportunity to improve early and to actually pursue it professionally. Because some may say that Judith underachieved, but we have to understand that there's only one Judith, there's only one female who are able to get to that level. But what if there's 100 Judith, right? One should at least be able to get close to the throne, even if they have not achieved it completely. There can only be one chess champion in the entire span of years, and so statistically it's just hard for females today to grab the title. Now we must accept that that in this particular competition, for example, just guys are just much more likely to win, not because of inequality, but because of the nature of the competition. And so that is all. If you really disagree, you can comment below and for everyone to see. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like, and that is all. Sleep well and play chess.